Well, I hope you've all enjoyed your Christmases. Uh, this is the first one after the festive cheer. It's been a week of festivity, of course. So, simple, if I can, just a simple snow scene, just to kick the day off. I just wet the paper all over, give a bit of a raw sienna look to things. There's a little bit of alizarin to that. Paint over where the snow is going. Bit more there. Might be just a little light. Let's see if I can just take that brightness down just a touch. No, it's not making good, is it? Gain. What does that do? Ooh. No. Colour intensity. Go up a little bit. But it's quite light, and it should be just a little bit more yellowy on the screen, though. Right, we'll put in a bit of. Let's have a bit of Payne's grey now, and a bit of ultramarine. Put a bit of light red. Get a nice paint over the snow. This all dries much lighter than when you put it on. Now, to clean the brush, just take a little bit of that. Just some little clouds on the horizon. Okay. Reclip the paper. I'll give it a dry now. Not a full dry, but just so I can crack on with it. Well, before on YouTube, I would leave the paper to dry mostly, but the hairdryer does give it a head start. Right, so right, hold on, let's move that out of the way and mute. Right, I've just taken the shine off the paper there. I'm going to use the Ron Ransom medium height now for that. Now, a good distance colour is Payne's grey and ultramarine. So it's blue, but we can just put a bit on the horizon. Now, because this is a rough paper, you need quite a bit of water on your brush. Just undulations there. Now a little bit darker in there. Going down the hill. Okay. Wasn't quite what I had in mind, actually. Right, just some nice pleasant impressionist trees Going along here. Okay. Now as we come into the warm, we'll add some burnt sienna, maybe a bit of burnt umber. There's some. It's a bit muddy in there. Don't like that. Clean the brush. Clean the palette. Just a little bit. Just take off that horrible mess there. Want clean colours, but back to the big hake now. So burnt sienna, which I love, bit of ultramarine, bit of cad yellow, and I'll put a bit of a hedgerow in, just poking through the snow. A bit more blue in there as we come in. Warm up a bit. Now I'll put in the trees at the back, but I might go over some of those. The light coming from the left, so we can show a bit of shadow over there. Back to the blue. Going over there. Right. This is all variations on a theme, isn't it? You can just make them up as you go along. Put a bit of a bank there. Well, just a bank coming around there, and some nice blue in there. Payne's grey and a bit of burnt sienna. I'll use a bit of gouache on some of this. A bit of red. Warm it up a bit. Sort of having fun with the hake. Now we'll put some nice footprints in there. Some nice dark blue in the shadow area here. Might even put some fencing in there. Bit of shadow. Okay. Now I'll go back to the smaller hake. I'm going to use Frank Clark's blush for this one. His small hake. It's much smaller than Ron Lanson's small hake, look. But it's a lovely little brush and it does quite a lot of things. So give a little bit bit of stuff in here. Right, now we'll put in a larger tree, wintry tree, so stronger than what we've done, so we can sort of put it in there. It's a bit near the centre, isn't it? But never mind. And a bit warmer in there. That one. Okay, so I'll leave those. I want. Oops. I mean that. Oh dear. A bit careless, wasn't it? Right, now we'll have a warmer tree. Just about here. We'll have a bit of shadow on there. And we can have some fun with that. So that side just catching a bit of the sunlight. Take it off the paper. I think sometimes we tend to fit in between the edges of the paper, but it's a good idea to take your painting off of the screen, or off of the stage. Oh, let's get a bit of dark in there. Right. And then we'll put a couple of big ones in here. So using Hake, I think. It's still a bit wet, so I'm going to dry it off. So let's mute the sound. Right, now let's catch in the light. So we're going to put a couple of trees in here. So a good idea is a bit of sienna, a bit of cad yellow. Let's put that in, catching a bit of light. Then we can put a bit of umber and a bit of darker stuff in the other side. Out of the light. So let that sort of bleed in. I like burnt sienna with blue or with the Payne's grey. So just on the light side, well, on the shadow side of there. Let that just bleed into there. There was some dark bits in there because I'm going to put some snow on that and like a bit of gouache. I'm going to do this, just do another one there. Try and get this one a bit different. So the other one, a nice big one. And while the paper's wet, you can put in some other colours, like the dark on the shadow side of the tree, and it will spread over to the left. Well, hopefully. A bit darker still, a bit blue. Yeah. Do a bit of wriggle work on that in a minute. When your hake behaves itself like it, all the hairs stay together, it's a joy to use. Oh, I need a wriggle. I'm too heavy-handed. I'll put a few road leaves on this. Just a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of burnt sienna. And just have that curling around there, and it gives a bit of perspective to it. There's water on your brush when you're using the wriggle, because, well, on the rough paper, this is from Saunders. A beautiful paper, only £90. Right, now that's not dry enough, this one here. Let's just get that straight. Right, just see how light that looks. Catching the light. Some of the branches coming off here. I've tried to get some of your branches crossing through the other ones. Otherwise, it just looks all a bit too one-dimensional. Some heavier stuff in there. More shadow. That's the newest thing. Well, Payne's grey with burnt sienna. It's a lovely warm grey. Put 2 million on. Right, let's do a bit on the other side now. Actually, that's just more of a bush, isn't it? So let's make it bushy. Otherwise, it will just look too small compared to the other one. Right, a bit dark there. Wasting my time putting those distant trees in, didn't I? Well, I'll give that. Oh no. Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Right, well, you can see what I've done. bring some of the branches of the tree in front of the tree and across. Then it gives it more of a 3D effect. This one is now a bush. So I'll put some green in it because it's too small. If it's a tree, it's too small compared to that. It's out of scale. So I'm going to put in some nice greens in there. Nice. So a bit of Payne's grey, bit of cad yellow. Okay, that'll do. Oh, we'll put a bit of. We put a bit of ivy going up here. Bit of green. That's the trouble when you have to mute like I did by leaning over onto my laptop and altering it there. I forget, I'll get carried away. Or I need carrying away. No, it's a lovely green. That's the Payne's grey and cad yellow, that's all. Put a little bit of detail in those trees. I think what I can do is just to make these trees come down here a little bit. Put some snow on them. Right, let's have a, with that little hake, let's have a bit of greyish. And we can put a or 5-bar gate there. And just hinted at. Right, now we'll let's get another hake. I want to do some foliage on there. Using Frank's big hake. Just a few bits of quiet. I'm going. Right, we want some shadowy ones and we want some brighter ones. To put a few more twigs and stuff on there. The shadow side of these, just a rogue. Oh, not so much rogue leaves, but Now, because I put those trees in so big, I'm going to have to make these so distancy looking trees a bit bigger. A bit of that raw sienna. Okay. Right, now we'll give that a dry, and I'll try to remember to unmute. Right, remembered. Okay, well, you have to forgive me because it has been a hard week, hasn't it, for some of us? Right, a bit of detail in that bushy tree on the left. There we go. If you're on Facebook, I've just published a couple of still lifes that I did many years ago. I gave them to my sister and brother-in-law, but and I never took a photograph of either of them. And I've done very few still lifes, as you know, but they're in an awkward place to photograph, unless take them off the wall. But during the Christmas festivities, I don't think my sister would have appreciated that. So they're what they are. And I really enjoyed doing them at the time, but they take quite a bit of time, not like these sort of impressionist things. Right, not too much detail there. So it's just some coming down. Okay. I'm tempted to put a figure in, but I quite like that effect. Right, now that should be nice and dry now. Let's get a bit of gouache, a bit of white, not Winsor & Newton. Squeeze a dollop out, but keep it well away from your colours because it will turn them transparent. Now, just hope I can get enough on this. Just to put some shadow in. Not here though. Just I wanted to bring these further down so they wouldn't be too big compared to that bush. But I'm not sure whether I carried that off enough. But I'll mix a bit of blue in with some of this, just covering, just picking up some of the high spots and there. But if I get some blue on that, that'll show more shadowy stuff. I don't know. So I'll put a bit of blue on the brush first, then a bit of that. Well, see, a bit shadowy and darker. Okay, now we'll go in with a bit of shadow now. Use a small rake for that. So just a bit of red and blue. Those shadows add so much. Okay, well, I'm going to let that go as a demo. Put a couple of birds in. Don't forget your boys. So we want a couple of figures. Let's go mad. Where will I put them? About Sienna. One there. Need a bit of shadow there. So another one. Okay, that'll sign it. Sign it in black or Payne's grey. Just because it's dry there, isn't it? Okay, put it in a mount. So I'll use the old blue mount. Let's put the tape first. There we go. Right, hope you enjoy that. I'll just tweak the camera away a bit, space it up. Yeah, but I think the colour's pretty good on that actually. So let me look at that for a few seconds. Nothing wrong with using a bit of gouache. That's all I'm going to do today. So I hope you're enjoying your festive season. Thanks for looking in, folks. This will be on Facebook, and I'll start doing some work on Patreon very soon. Bye bye.